Greetings and welcome to our channel, Ball Chat Podcast. I am your host, or one of the hosts, Junior, here on Ball Chat. And this show, we don't have the name yet. We don't have any name for the show as yet. But we're currently in our summer schedule. You don't know, Ball Chat is live every Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern, during the English Premier League, most of the English Premier League season. We kind of go by the EPL season where we come and recap the week that was in football. But we're doing something a little bit different in the summer where if we have breaking news or any news that we want to get out there, we're just going to come on live and we're just going to share our opinions on it, right? So that's why we're here. So, today the big news in world football today is Pochettino and Chelsea. And everybody, if you watch our show, you know that I am one of Pochettino's biggest fans. As a Manchester United fan, I wanted Pochettino at Manchester United before we hired Eric Ten Hag. So it's only fair that Pochettino, some will say, or the reports will say, mutually agreed with Chelsea brass to leave the title at Chelsea, or to leave the job at Chelsea. It came out today that he's no longer will be coaching Chelsea. So it's only fair that I am the one that come on and give my opinion or give my instant reaction to what happened, or to the report that happened today. So without further ado, let's talk about it. Mauricio Pochettino is no longer coaching Chelsea after mutually agreeing with the Chelsea brass today that he's going to vacate the job and leave it for somebody else. Now, Pochettino has been in the job for 1 year. He came in summer of last year, taking over from Frank Lampard. Took over Chelsea. Chelsea finished last season campaign 12th in the Premier League. Last year, they let me bring up their stats. Last year, Chelsea finished 12th on 44 points with 11 wins, 11 draws, 16 losses, and a -9 goal difference. This year, in Mauricio Pochettino's first year in charge, Chelsea finished sixth, 63 points, plus 14 goal difference. That's a positive 25 in goal difference. They had 18 wins, 9 draws, 11 losses. Now, they were buoyed this year by their most recent run, where they had a very good stretch to end the season. But still, you know me, I say, hey, we're going to look at it in its totality and see what really happened. So, Chelsea, Pochettino no longer coaching Chelsea. And normally on the show when Benton are come on, when I say something and they have to quickly say, those are the views of Judah Pringle and that Ball Chat. Well, these are the views of Judah Pringle, and them not about them can't stop me. This is the dumbest decision I've seen this year in football. The dumbest decision to move on from a coach, an established coach, after one season. You've only given Pochettino 1 year before we come out now and mutually agree that we're going to move on. Now, some people might say Pochettino is not a big time coach. Well, let's look at his resume. Pochettino started in the women's coaching as an assistant manager for women's football in December 1st, 2008, and it lasted for only 1 month till January 2009. Then he became the Espanyol manager for 4 seasons from 08-09 to 12-13. Then he went on to become the Southampton manager for 1 season, from the 12-13 season up until 13-14. He took over in January, and then he left June the following year. So he was there for like half a season. Then he became the Tottenham coach, which arguably was his best coaching performance. He was there for 5 years, for the 14-15 season, the 19-20 season. He went to PSG for 2 seasons, and then Chelsea this year. I think 1 season is way too short of a time period to move on from a coach, regardless of how much money was spent, regardless of what was done. I maintain the fact that 1 year is not enough to judge the work of a coach. I think it's unfair what was done to Pochettino. I think it's idiotic. We see The coaching carousel is now hotting up in the English Premier League. The Zerbi was the most recent one that came out earlier this week and said, hey, by mutual consent, I'm leaving Brighton. So one has to wonder, who is going to be the next Chelsea coach? That has to be the question right now. And Todd Bowley, or whatever I want to name, the American owner, who's going to be the next coach at Chelsea? And how much time are you going to give him? And what is the criteria for him to stay on as coach? Because surely Pochettino was fired. Surely the conversation that happened led to him to mutually vacate the position. Surely the decision was made that, you know what, we're going to fire you. I am pretty sure about that. I'm not privy to any backdoor information or anything that happened behind closed doors. But a coach don't go to a job and leave after a year mutually unless he has a much better job lined up, which is possible. Maybe Pochettino will be announced as the next Bayern Munich coach. We don't know. Maybe, I don't know, Pochettino might end up in Italy at Juventus coach. I don't AC Milan. I don't know. But I'm going to keep the focus on Chelsea and the decision that the American owner has made. Or since Roman left the position, or he was ousted, or however we want to talk about it with Abramovich giving up the ownership of Chelsea. 1 season, 1 year is not enough. The coaching carousel in English Premier League is hotting up. Coaches right now, I know for one, Ten Hag must be worried. Eric Ten Hag at Manchester United must be saying right now, if I don't win the FA Cup this week, surely Manchester United might think about firing me, because the caliber of coaches that are out there, regardless of what you might think, Pochettino is a good coach. Pochettino took over a dumpster fire at Chelsea that Frank Lampard left, and he somehow turned it around respectably. They finished 6 places higher last season in 1 year. In 1 season, Chelsea has finished 6 places higher than they did the year before and have a plus 25 positive goal difference, or goals scored. They were negative 11 goal difference last year. They're plus 14 this year. In 1 season, Pochettino has done that, and they decided to move on. Something isn't right. I don't like it. Those are the views of Junior. Quick reaction. It's a quick reaction. Let me know what you think. I see there are a lot of reports out there. There are a lot, and I'm going to stick to what we know. And the only thing we know right now is Chelsea was a dumpster fire last year. They were 12th in the league at the end of the season. Lampard, who was the caretaker manager, or the interim manager, was moved out. Pochettino came in from PSG. In 1 season, Pochettino bring Chelsea to a 6th position, on the verge of playing European football, and he's ousted. That's not a good look to me. And there's no way another big-time coach, even though Pochettino in some circles might not be considered big-time, there's no way a coach, big-time coach, or a coach that with a high reputation will want to come in and work under these circumstances, because he must be thinking to himself coming in, he or her must be thinking to themselves coming in, if I get this position, what will it take for me to not have a discussion with ownership in the next 12 months that will lead to us mutually departing, or mutually parting ways? What is it that I would have to accomplish? Obviously, Champions League was a big part. It's clear as day to me that playing Champions League for Chelsea was a criteria that was put in by Todd Bowley, or however you want to pronounce his name, or whatever you want to name, the Chelsea owner. Obviously, Champions League football is a priority. Now, Chelsea's squad was inflated when Pochettino got them. He added more to the squad. Those are definite negatives that you can hold up against him. But 1 season, 12 months, it's not enough. Not enough. But those are the views of Junior. Chelsea is a stupid club. I don't care what anybody wants to say. It's an idiotic decision. And if they are lucky to bring in a big name coach, and if they are lucky for that big name coach to get the squad right, then hats off to them. But I can foresee more issues for Chelsea next season because of this knee-jerk reaction. Surely, looking at the last couple months or the last month for Chelsea, surely that locker room must have liked Pochettino. So how does that locker room react right now? And that locker room now has to now come back in the summer in the next couple of weeks, and they will now have to work with a new manager again. Surely things will not work out well for Chelsea. But that's my quick view still. And like I said, anytime there's breaking news that happen in the world of football, we are going to jump on. We're going to give our views. Pochettino is my guy. I like Pochettino. So you know what? I'm going to go on record and say, if Ten Hag gets fired Monday, or probably Sunday, or even Saturday evening, if Man City beats Manchester United as expected, and Ineos decide that they want to move on from Ten Hag, I say hire Pochettino. Bring in Pochettino. That's what I say as a Manchester United fan. Those are the views of Judah Pringle and not Balchat and not all Manchester United fans. Just this Manchester United fan. Bring in Pochettino if we move on from Ten Hag. As always, you don't know you can connect with us at Balchat Podcast on Instagram. Hold on, Jason Frame. All right, let me see. Big up Jason Frame. I got a comment from Jason Frame saying it was silly to hire Poch in the first place. To hire him but having fired him, he had a host of injuries, new team for him and the teammates. He finds some sort of form, then you fire him. Stupid. Following the footsteps of Man U. Big up Jason. I agree 100%. I don't like the last part of the comment though about following the footsteps of Man U. Chelsea is not following the footsteps of Man U. Chelsea is following the footsteps of Chelsea and them stupidness. It's stupidness, straight craziness, and you know what? I am happy because now Chelsea going to have a fire sale, and maybe Manchester United can get some good baller. Or bring in some baller, Man U. We want the baller them. But so big up for yourself, people. You don't know, follow us on Instagram at Balchat Podcast, on Twitter or X at Balchat1, on Facebook at Balchat. You can email us at balchatpodcast@gmail.com. All our audio are available when during the regular season. It's available on Apple, iTunes, on Google Play, Spotify. And again, remember, those are the views of Junior and not Balchat. So if you email me Balchat Podcast about anything that you hear me say, make sure you put in the subject the viewpoint of Junior so we know who you're throwing stone after. Alright? But bless up with yourself, people. Pochettino out at Chelsea. Stupidness. Crazy. And speaking of crazy, Gareth Southgate, as soon